Oh, this totally isn't suspicious or worth questioning. I guess I'm just gonna continue like normal in a state of mindless autopilot.
Actually, almost.
You can actually start controlling the dream, and anything you imagine can become a reality. Your brain is the most realistic VR machine. You can feel and see the world clearly. This isn't the same as just closing your eyes and using your imagination. It all started when I listened to my friend's podcast on lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences. Frankly, I was a bit disturbed by the idea of out-of-body experiences. It seems like some sketch new age practice, and I didn't want any part of it. But ironically, it was that emotional response that triggered an event that happened that same night. Having a lucid dream on your mind during the day increases the chances you'll have one at night. And so I was thinking about my friend's podcast as I went to bed, and here's what happened.
I dreamed I was outside of my house looking towards my room, and suddenly I became lucid. I was fully aware that my body was asleep in my bed, but I was convinced that if I went up to my room and looked in, I would see myself sleeping. And that concerned feeling I had earlier about out-of-body experiences was still with me. I was just afraid to see myself. So out of fear, I didn't try to take control of the dream. Instead, I slipped out of lucidity and the dream continued without me. That was my first lucid dream.
Okay, that was pretty bizarre. I started studying the topic and I found more creative ideas for lucid dreaming. My goal is to harness the power of my dreams and become the avatar, master of all four elements. In a lucid dream, it's possible to ask your subconscious a question and get an answer. You can even ask your dream to surprise you, and something unpredictable will happen that's unique to who you are. Eventually, I do get to ask my dream to surprise me, and I'm excited to show you guys what happens. A few weeks later, I was practicing a technique to help me lucid dream called mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, or the mild technique. Sounds intimidating, but really I just repeat a phrase like, "I will lucid dream tonight," over and over again to get the intention set in my mind before going to bed.
I was standing outside of my house and nothing unusual was happening, but out of nowhere, I just knew I was in a dream, and I became lucid. I was able to move and walk and breathe, just like in real life. I was starting to get excited, but weirdly, the world still looked foggy and dreamlike to me. I decided I'm going to try to walk through my garage door without opening it, like a ghost. So I walked up to it, stepped through, and it worked. So cool. Then I went to my car door and tried to do the same thing. But this time, instead, I kept bumping into it and I woke up.
That dream was really short and it never became vividly clear. So I found some suggestions online for how to make my lucid dreams last longer and become more clear. The most important point was to not get too excited. Kind of weird. Strong emotions either pull you back into a non-lucid dream or wake you up completely. And another point was if you focus on the details of the world, eventually things would clear up. A few days later, I was having conversations about lucid dreaming with my friends. So dreaming was on my mind, and that night, this happened.
I was in an around the world scooter race, straight up riding a scooter on a sandy beach. I stopped at a beach town and I suddenly became lucid. I looked around at the world, and this time, without even doing anything, the world was vividly clear. I decided I was going to try to stabilize the dream a bit more before trying some water bending, so I focused on the details all around me. I soaked in the scenery and tried to smell the salty air, but as I was breathing and smelling the air, I felt my breath on my face. Not just my dream face. I literally felt the dream world and my physical body in my bed simultaneously. I tried to focus on the dream to help me stay in it, but I woke up.
At this point, throughout the day, I was doing something called reality checks. These are little things that help you distinguish between the dream world and the waking world. And the one I chose to do was to push my finger against my palm. Supposedly, in a dream, your finger can go all the way through your palm. And the idea is, if you get used to doing reality checks during the day, you'll do a reality check while you're sleeping, and it'll work, and you'll go lucid. But you could also do reality checks while you're already in a lucid dream, just to try and stabilize everything. And so my plan was to do a reality check in my dream even after I was lucid, so that the dream would last longer and become vivid.
I was playing soccer and I couldn't make a shot. This can't be real. How could I possibly be missing so much? I realized I had to be dreaming, and I looked around. The world was dreamy and foggy looking. I looked at my friend Nick and told him, "You're dreaming." I'm not sure why I said that. And then I ran around yelling, "I'm dreaming! I'm dreaming!" And I hoped this would keep me in the dream. But I completely forgot about my plan to do a reality check. Instead, the most immediate thought that went through my head was, I need to waterbend now before I wake up. I looked down to the ground and guess what? I was on concrete now and there was a puddle of water next to me. I focused hard and made an attempt to waterbend, and I managed to lift a little bit of water up. I started to feel the dream weakening and knew I needed to hurry. I was gonna wake up soon. I ran over to a stream and tried to waterbend again, but it wasn't working at all. And I woke up. I spent a few weeks without a lucid dream, and it's honestly amazing how bad I am at recognizing that I'm in a dream. Even in a zombie apocalypse dream, in the moment, I didn't even question it. I was the real zombie in that zombie dream. Did you know that kids lucid dream far more frequently than adults? I think kids are more often present in the moment, and they have a sense of wonder, and they question the world around them. And when we get older, we just go into autopilot and we lose all that. We get boring. And side note, I'm making a lot of effort to improve my videos, so if you have any feedback, please help. I was flying awkwardly in a half standing up position, and the mere annoyance at not being able to fly like a normal person made me lucid. And this time, the world was vividly clear. It was amazing. I landed and remembered my plan to do a reality check. So I took my finger and pushed against my palm, but weirdly, it wasn't working. And I was certain I was dreaming. I just landed from flight. I kept trying and eventually it did actually work. I felt like I was in the dream pretty good at this point. I looked up and saw a bunch of people standing on a hill. And this is when I remembered I wanted to try communicating with my subconscious. So I looked into my dream and shouted, "Dream! Surprise me!" Then all the people on the hill looked over and pulled out balls and started throwing them at me. And I woke up. Okay, why did you guys throw balls at me? That was weird. I definitely didn't master the 4 elements, but maybe I can master something in the real world instead. Check out my series where I try to learn different flips. Or check out my other videos where I try amazing new hobbies, try to grow as a person. Ugh. Whew.